Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Duncan and today's video is going to be my recent running pickups. Yeah, I typically view running clothing or running gear through the same lens as I view designer fashion, ultimately just cool clothes that I like to wear. So let's get into the first piece. The first one is going to be this shirt from Satisfy Running. Satisfy will be a big theme throughout this video, but this is the MothTech shirt. As I get closer, you can see all of these holes or distressing throughout. Now, the shirt gets its name from vintage t-shirts that have moth holes. I believe moths will eat through like old garments, especially knits. So that's the idea. I think really cool name for a t-shirt style. I have showed this MothTech t-shirt on the channel in the past, so this is my second one. Overall, I'm a huge fan of the style. I think the distressed technique gives a really badass look. Satisfy says that they body map these holes for strategic ventilation, so when you're running, the heat can escape faster. I don't know how much like that is doing, but I do find this t-shirt very breathable. The cotton itself is quite thin, so yeah, it's kind of my go-to hot weather shirt. Then also in the winter, say you have a base layer, you can do a little bit of styling with a contrasting color that comes through the holes. So I found it very enjoyable. I would really recommend taking a look on Satisfy's site. All of the graphics they've done this past year have all hit. I haven't seen one shirt that I didn't think was cool. If you like that style, I think this is a great t-shirt to check out. The next piece is this pair of sunglasses from Oakley. This is called the Lateralis model, and I actually had the opportunity to try these on at the Tokyo flagship store, Oakley flagship store. I don't think I'm somebody who looks good in a variety of sunglasses. I'm really envious of the people that can pull off all these crazy shapes and stuff, but for me, I try and stick with something more simple, so this is what it looks like on. But yeah, I've been super happy with these. The shape to me feels like a good in between of athletic and casual. So I do wear these on a day-to-day basis. And then you can also put them up on your head and you really forget you're wearing them. So a really great weight and color to just, throw on and use them when you need to. That was the Oakley Sunglasses. I also wanted to recommend on their website, they have a feature where you can virtually try these on. And for this video, I tried out that feature with this pair of sunglasses to see if it looked similar. And I thought it actually really did represent how they looked on my face, like this versus the picture. So check that out if you're interested. The next one is gonna be this hat from Satisfy Running. Now, I've owned a pretty wide variety of Satisfy hats in the past. I've owned their Flight Silk model, this whale cap, which is a thicker corduroy, and then also very briefly, I had their Rippy trail cap from the Our Legacy workshop collaboration. So I can really recommend their hats. This came out at the beginning of last summer, if I remember correctly, and I instantly loved the colorway. It's this dark brown with contrasting white stitching. It feels very simple, but at the same time, just classic. Like something about this colorway really reminds me of a vintage colorway. Like not a specific reference, but it just has this kind of old school look to it. However, at the time I did have this green cap, which fulfilled a similar purpose. So I didn't think it made sense to buy this one. However, as I've said on the channel in the past, I did lose that green cap in Korea. Still a little bit bummed about that. So I used that as an excuse to pick this one up as my replacement, and I've been really happy with it so far. I find that the Peaceshell model fits a little bit bigger than both the Flight Silk and the Rippy Trail Cap. For me, the Rippy Trail Cap is the smallest. It doesn't even fit on my big head. And then this model, which I don't see them doing anymore, but is the whale cap, I think fits the biggest. So a little bit of a note on sizing there. However, yeah, it's just, once again, a really cool in-between of athletic gear and fashion. This is a stretch nylon, machine washable, so it's great on your runs, but also can kind of add a slightly unique look. to a casual outfit. Just kind of an odd cap, I would say. So that's kind of just how it looks. And then, oh, last thing, they always have this contrasting color on the brim. So this is a navy. This one is kind of a neutral tan, similar to the running sunglasses. So actually a really good matchup here, I believe. All right, getting into the last piece, and by far the most expensive. This is called the Satisfy Pertex 3-layer fly rain jacket. A little bit of a mouthful. They've been doing this style for a year or two now, but this colorway really caught my eye. I was scrolling on Instagram and they had posted this kind of promotional shoot where one of their models was wearing this jacket and a matching pair of rain pants, same colorway, and that green against the nature mountain backdrop just stopped me in my tracks. I was like, whoa, what is that set? You know, as far as running gear, this felt like a very unique colorway. So I thought about it, but it's really, really expensive. So I was like, you know, it doesn't make sense at retail. But over the next couple weeks, I started to kind of justify it, I guess, if we're honest. I was thinking, okay, 10 years down the line, when Satisfy has really settled into their brand identity, you know, they have their core collection and it's more routine, you'll look back and see this as a really unique colorway and a special release. So it'll be kind of like a archive piece in a sense. That's how I justified it. The other thing is that with the previous Satisfy pieces I've bought, it does take a little bit of convincing to get over that price point, right? Because there's a whole slew of affordable alternatives. But I have a great success rate, you know, with some of the pieces I've just showed. You can see I tend to repurchase after, you know, using the piece of clothing for a while. So I talked myself into this. However, when I received it, I do have a couple complaints or improvements that I would suggest. First and foremost is going to be the pocket situation. So this has one pocket, which is on the right side seam. So it has a zipper pocket and then no pocket on the other side. At first, when I saw this on the website, I was skeptical, but I thought, oh, I can make it work. However, let me show you how small this pocket is. That is my hand touching the edge. So it just fits my fingers, which is so disappointing. Pretty much one of the few things I can fit in this is a chapstick. So it's like a chapstick pocket. Ridiculous! Just, to me, that makes no sense and really defeats a lot of the purpose of a rain jacket for me. When I'm running and I get caught in the rain, what I would like this to do is protect my valuables. First and foremost, my phone, right? So if I have my phone, I want it not to get wet. Myself personally, I will not melt, so that's less of a concern. And really the main reason I haven't bought a rain jacket in the past is like, if I get wet, I get wet. But the phone. So anyway, this has no storage capacity, so it can't keep much dry, you know what I mean? Secondly is more of a suggestion, but it's the zipper. I think this would have done really well if it had a double zipper, so you could bring it up from the bottom. This is something I like on a wide variety of jackets. I just think it's more convenient, but especially with this waterproof zipper, I think it could help it lie more flat because this tends to kind of bunch up, or it doesn't sit perfectly when the bottom is kind of resting on something. You'll see better on the B-roll. The next thing is going to be the cinch at the bottom hem. Now it does have elastic that you can bring it in, but that's only on one side. So if you do it, it is more cinched on one side than the other, and the zipper makes it very difficult to have this uniform look. So I just found some of these details to be poorly done. You know, overall, I think they stripped this down, made it as light as possible, but it lost a lot of the great technical features that you'd expect a expensive jacket like this to have. So unfortunately, this is the first piece of Satisfy that I can truly say is not worth the price point. I really like the color still, having a bit of a green phase, and I do still like the brand. So on the off chance that anyone from Satisfy is watching, I hope you take my feedback to heart. I think there is some significant improvements that could be made in this jacket. That's gonna wrap up my review of my recent running pickups. My previous video on Satisfy, people had a lot to say about the price point, quality, etc. So I do think some of these technical brands fall under more scrutiny about their products holding up versus like a traditional designer brand. But I'm still a big fan of the brand. The coolest aesthetic in the running game is my personal opinion. So without further ado, anyway, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.